y'all doing?
Hello, guys.
This is another episode of Tapping with That, featuring
Tapping with
Atan. Featuring Atan.
It's Aiden. Call me Aiden.
No, don't listen to
Not
him.
Atan.
That's not his name. Anyway,
Yes,
shh. We're not doing this. Let's not act up in front of company, as they would say. Well, I hope y'all doing all right out there. So
why are you laughing?
y'all's children ever act like little critters and things? Yeah, that's my child.
What? That's not so not.
Anyways, so today has been a long day for me, but a good day. I met an amazing soul today, extremely amazing. And it's crazy how you can just be out and you meet people and y'all just be, the conversation just be so lit and so aligned, and what they have to say is exactly what you needed, and what you had to say is exactly what they needed. That made my day. Anyway, I just wanted to share how good of an experience that was to meet a like-minded person. So today's topic is going to be about the war on our children. Because in meeting this like-minded individual today, that's kind of what we discussed. And so it inspired me to talk about that. So in the past few years, one thing that has come to surface is a lot of the trafficking that goes on with children. Okay, allegedly, but we know it's not. What creature, I tell you. Okay. Anywho, so we know that those things are happening in this world, and a lot of us are probably distracted by, celebrity news or gossip news, whatever. But all the things that happen to our children, between trafficking, between the school systems, all the things that they encounter, right, when they're so young. Our children are basically like, when they go to school, it's like 12 years a slave. For real, it's 12 years a slave. And I know we say, well, how do we educate them, or how do we do these things, or we don't have the patience to do it. But one thing I can say as a mother who homeschools is it's really not what you think it is. And these children be knowing more than what you think they know. And you'll be so happy as a parent, even though the weight is on you. If your child becomes the great Messiah, you did that. If your child becomes some dark demon person, well, hell, you did that. It's just full responsibility for the bloodline that you're creating or that you're a part of. There's nothing wrong with being responsible with what you created. We give so much control to these folks over us and our children. This is why a lot of you have to compete or combat with the school system about your children, because they have your child's mind more than you do. They have your child for 8 hours a day and for 12 years. That's a lot of time that you miss out being a full-blown mother or a full-blown father to your child. And I'm not saying that everybody can, do it, but you damn sure need to learn how to make a way. Meaning, if you got a sister who can homeschool because she homeschooling her children, send your kids over there to her house during the day for 3 or 4 hours. But you sending them to a place where you don't know who's really there. You don't really know what they're being taught, if they're being taught anything at all, because most of us don't even recall any of the things that we really learned in school. None of that shit we use. I can't tell you nothing from Algebra 1 class that I have ever had to use as an adult. Now, if your child gonna be some sort of engineer or something like that, then okay, maybe you need those courses. But get what you need. Don't sacrifice them to the system. And then when you take them to the doctor and things of that nature, and because you don't want them to receive certain things, they'll say you're neglecting your child, or it's medical neglect. They'll say all these things. So are we really being mothers and fathers? Because I don't like saying parents for real. I don't like that word. I don't know why. But are we really being mamas and dads or daddies? Whatever y'all want to call yourself, papas. Are we really being that? Or are we just doing what the system has set up and it's comfortable to us? These children are faced with so much. And now the whole world is full of pedophilia. I'm sorry, I think it's a derogatory term to call someone a pedophile now. But whatever, it is what it is. Minor attracted persons, whatever. That's okay. That's not okay. All this is going on, and nobody says nothing. We just keep going like it's nothing. Y'all still get up every morning and send your children to school. Nothing has changed. COVID didn't teach y'all nothing. That's all it took for me. All it took is for me to see that them children had to be masked up going to school. How they gonna learn? And at that time, my child was in kindergarten. Children that young need to see. They got to see your mouth move. You can't see A-E-I-O-U with the mask up. You can't see that. So are we really that vulnerable? Are we that scared to be real mothers and fathers? Are we that scared to be true to our children? We that vulnerable? Because basically it's okay. During the COVID situation, we basically showed how weak we were. They exposed their hand, but they also exposed us as communities, as different groups of people, how weak we are and how vulnerable we are to the system. You send your child there, they could have done anything they wanted to do because you were so anxious to get them kids up out your house. A lot of y'all can't stand to keep y'all children in the house for more than 3 or 4 hours out of the day, unless it's dinner and to bed. You can't take it. You can't take the smart ass mouths and the comments and all the other stuff they do. Not realizing that's you all over again, your carbon copy. Not realizing that in this scenario, you the creator. Because mama and daddy are the first gods of the child. Mama being number one. Because she's the giver of life and the protector of that child's life. But yet we're just so vulnerable. Sorry for all my background noise. But I met this lady today, and she was telling me about her child's medical history. And we actually ended up exchanging numbers. Like, this lady is beautiful soul. And that is exactly what our full conversation was about, is how do we save our children? And because we connected on that, that's what made us exchange numbers. And the fact that we were able to talk about health and our hair and all these other things, because it's hard to find people around you with like-minded, with like minds at this point. Even some of those who claim to be spiritual and they don't even know what spiritual means. They don't even know what the word means at all. And when you ask them to walk that walk, they can't walk it. They like talking it though. So when it comes to our children, we need to learn to walk that walk. We ain't talking it no more. Not at all. And with that being said, I don't have nothing against anyone's sexual preference, orientation, nationality, nothing of that nature, right? But have we not noticed that with the whole world coming out saying what their sexual orientation is, that it's making it easier and easier for the minor attracted person's agenda to be successful? Some of y'all get it, some of y'all won't. And then something else happened today. My best friend called me, one of my best friends. And we chit-chat and we talking it up. And she says, did you know that the Nickelodeon splatter is the exact same layout of Jeffrey Epstein's island? I said, what? She said, yeah, it's the exact same. Why would they have that on Nickelodeon when Nickelodeon's supposed to be all about children? It's supposed to be all about children. And I mean, I knew a little bit about it because I don't know, y'all probably know this too. This is it's kind of old news at this point. But when SpongeBob was exposed a few years back, the address to Krusty Krabs is the Epstein Island address. But the whole breakdown of the show was all pedo style, right? With the Krusty Krabs, with the bikini bottom. I mean, all these things, subliminals to inappropriate things that children shouldn't be watching, hearing, none of that. So if you know how subliminal messages work, then you know the type of danger it can cause. Excuse me. I need some water. I didn't bring none over here. I guess I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. Can't see my water, y'all. But I guess, oh, I don't know why I'm having this on the camera. None of that ever really mattered to them because I think they still, if I'm not mistaken, you can find SpongeBob episodes for days going on Nickelodeon. So nobody ever cared enough to take it down, stop it from being aired. But that's how much they care about our children. They also care so much about our children that in the school system in which your child more than likely attends, because most of us can't afford private schools, right? At least if we know they go to private schools, that they get, somewhat of a better education. I'm not even gonna say somewhat. They really do get a better education to a certain degree. But most of us can't afford that. So public school, if you don't pack your child's lunch, you might as well say your child is eating slops. I mean, is it prison? I'm confused. Because the food they serve them stays in a warehouse for like 3 years before it actually gets sent to your child's school. And then it's served to them. So are they prisoners? Walking in single file line? Are they prisoners? I mean, they've been talking about the jail to prison pipeline for the longest, but we still keep sending our children there. We still keep sending them. We still keep thinking it's the answer. Not trusting ourselves, not trusting, our own instinct and intuition. We're not trusting none of that. We steadily keep sending them. So all these things are happening to these babies, and then we wonder why we have such weak adults. Why we have such broken men and women. Is it lack of parenting, lack of being a mother, lack of being a father? It's a combination of all those things. So are we just not going to say nothing about it, or we just going to keep sending them? Yep. It's the war on children for me. And ain't nobody doing nothing. Y'all just keep getting on TikTok and everything else instead of saying, you know what, this is ass backwards. All of it. And then we steadily keep wondering why other groups of people get ahead of other groups of people. Well, it's because there's other groups of people who don't keep going for the bullshit. There's other groups of people who stick to their culture. There's other groups of people who stick to them. We don't never question why other groups of people can still go to college or do whatever it is they want to do. But yet we are the only group of people, melanated, indigenous, black, whatever you want to call yourself. Most of us still feel like we got to turn to public school to educate our children and to raise our children. Because some of us, let's just be real, we be lazy. We just want to send their asses to school, go to work, pay them bills, and be done. That's it. We don't want to do nothing else. We want to do the bare minimum. That's what we want to do. Instead of acting like they're truly our future. Because all being 12 years a slave does is teach you how to be a better slave on a bigger plantation. That's it. And so, I say all that to say we have to do better. We have to educate ourselves, educate our children, and keep your babies close to you. Keep them close. Ain't no such thing as really being extremely antisocial. Y'all be so afraid. Homeschooling. Oh, it's gonna make them antisocial and socially awkward and no, it does not. But what it does do is it makes them wisen up. And when they are in public and when they are around other people in social events, they peep all the mess. And so they don't want to be bothered with it. Or what happens is, because this is one thing I have with my son. Most children his age are already exposed to so much. Even with him being exposed to video games and social media, he still is nowhere near doing what half y'all children be out here doing. You know why? Because they're exposed to that all day long around all these other children you don't know nothing about who are in homes where all this stuff is happening. Whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, any of that. So majority of the time, most homeschool children, from me being around some, they have a different type of innocence to them. They not slow, not by a long shot, but they are not exposed to so much at one time. They are still children. And they are still very much so more childlike than the typical child who is in public school right now. And the reason I know this is because where I live, I can go outside and hear children talking about eating ass. Yeah, y'all kids be out here talking about eating ass. And they are every bit of 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. That ain't the school system fault. That sounds like that's mama and daddy's fault to me. On that note, again, let's just work on being responsible mothers and fathers. Let's work on bringing our children back to the nest before they are ready to be put out of it. Let's educate them ourselves. And if you don't have the strength to do it yourself, you go to a neighbor or someone who can assist you. Okay, there are a lot of programs everywhere to assist with homeschooling and homeschool children. All right. So, you want to say something, son?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Hello.
I don't know what he's going to say.
I am the editor of these videos and the cutter of these videos. So don't give anybody all credit. Share credits.
Okay.
And get us to like 50 or 100 subscribers. Or you can just like wait. I'll do face reveal at face reveal at 100 subscribers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
Do you think
If y'all want to do a collab with like my mama's talking videos and,
what?
and Roblox videos, and I can do that. I can do it.
Child, okay. On that note, I wish you all peace, love,
Love,
and
health.
all that is good. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
good health. Yeah, he said that. Okay, yeah, health, prosperity, all that is on the highest positive frequency.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you kicked the thing. Okay,
Sorry.
baby. Okay. He's getting that. He's on it, okay? All right. We are out of here. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace, peace.